I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me breaking your sweat. You're falling into me, touch me, I swear. You would do anything that I want, so keep us awake till the dawn. Baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got you wrapped around my finger.
Oh,
Hi.
hello.
Oh, I'm so happy to see you.
Wow.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Your Favorite Ants.
I am Shaquille O'Neal,
And I am LeBron James.
and together we make up a really, really good all-star, all-American basketball league team.
Obviously. Look
Yes.
at us.
Yes. Good morning or good evening. Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Happy Friday, Saranaya.
Hi, happy Friday. I am back from the dead, so it's so good to be with you.
I mean, you do sound a lot better
I
than you did
know.
before.
Yeah. So I got COVID the second time, friends.
Listen, let me tell you what, high score.
High score. But I will say, get vaccinated. Also, get boosted.
Yeah, because if you didn't have those things, you would be hella worse off probably.
Right. And we think what it was, is that it was, it's the Omicron. It's really easy to get, and everybody I know
Mhm.
has.
My mama got
So
it.
your mama got it. I mean,
Yeah,
wear a
she's starting to
mask.
feel better. She's starting to feel better now, thank God. But I will tell you what, because like my mama got it before she was fine, then she got the vaccine. So I'm just like, she's like, as vaccinated as she can be, and she still got it. Same thing with
Mhm,
all my friends.
mhm.
All my friends are vax boosted all the way, and they still.
We
Now,
get
oh
it.
my gosh, we'll talk about it later in the thing. But like, there was like a story that was going around that people were not reading fully about weed, and
Oh yeah, and they thought we'd stop people from getting it.
yes, when I saw that, I'm just like, listen, we were right the whole time, bitch. We were just I was ready for that, but then I actually read it. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, not
However,
true.
comma, we might have known, about the things that hemp byproducts could be used for, if it wasn't a restricted substance when it does not need to be. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, anyways, but we'll get into that
We'll get
later.
there.
How the hell are you? How the hell are
I'm
you?
doing so great. I think once you've been sick, when you become unsick, life feels like,
You have a new
I went,
lease. You are a brand new woman.
yeah, so I'm day 5, so I could be out today. I mean, I'm still wearing a mask with a filter in it actually. And
Double.
I've got some KN95s on the way. So I'm out and about in the world, but not really going out. We went over to my friend Michelle's house because I literally haven't seen anyone since I got back from Oregon. And I just feel so much better. So I'm doing really well. And I'm just really happy to be back in the land of the living.
Listen, I would have lost hope had I not known I would see the goodness of God in the land of the living.
And
Proverbs 27:13.
one of the tips that I have if you do get sick is that Cutwater Spirit Pops, which are adult otter pops, are really
Otter
helpful.
pops? What's an otter pop?
Like whatever you call, or however, I thought Southern people call them otter pops. We just call them like a, what do you want to call them? They're like
A popsicle?
it's like a popsicle. Yeah, it's like the popsicles.
Yeah, that's a popsicle.
No, popsicle is like a popsicle. This is like the things that you squeeze out.
Like a yogurt?
Kind of.
Is it frozen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a popsicle.
No, popsicles on a stick.
No. Any frozen liquid
Okay.
thing that you're just supposed to like ingest is is a is a popsicle.
Well,
They're all in the same family.
in Mississippi, they called them otter pops because it's like, I don't know, like an otter because it like pops out. I don't know. I
Are
don't
you
know.
making that up? You don't know why they call them otter pops? Did you
Okay,
just make that up?
anyone who is listening to this, either live, comment if you're listening to this later. What is the name of just the frozen thing that is in a long thing? If anyone's on with us today,
Okay, you know what? We're just gonna put this out on Twitter. We're gonna
we're gonna
find
put
out before the end of the show.
mm-hmm,
I'm gonna show you the picture so you can approve.
an otter pop. Have you really never heard otter pop?
Or like I would either call it a no, I've never heard that. So we also call them freezy pops.
Okay, freezy pops maybe. Freezies. Yeah, I grew up calling them freezies in Canada.
Okay,
Otter pops are a
freezies I
brand.
can Otter Pops are a brand?
And this is what I'm being told right now.
Ah, see. Yes, I'm just gonna
We're
say
both right.
no, I'm right.
No, popsicle is on a popsicle stick.
But popsicles are an umbrella term for all of the frozen treats.
Okay, fair.
Like I'm not saying an Otter Pop is not a pop. I'm saying they're in the same family.
We're
I'm
both
not
right.
saying I'm not saying they're the same thing. But I've just never heard of a freezy pop called an Otter Pop before. And
We
apparently
call
you're
them,
doing that's like you're doing the Kleenex. This is the Kleenex equivalent
yeah.
of a popsicle.
But in Canada, we just call them freezies. But then when I moved to the South, people would like, do you want an otter pop? And I didn't know what they were asking.
It's like I mean, honey, if you want to talk about an Otter Pop, honey, last night, honey, there was an otter popping,
Honey.
honey. Just kidding, I was by myself. No, I went
Um,
over and watched Drag Race with some friends in preparation
can
for tonight.
can I ask how the hell are you?
Uh, why you gotta call right now when I'm on my show, motherfucker? Been waiting all day for you to call, but now you no. Sorry. I have been, my whole car drama that I've been still been dealing with.
Yes. Yeah.
I have been trying to get anybody on the phone.
Oh.
At this point, I'm just like, I don't even care if you buy it from me. I just need some sort of bill of this car is gone, or it was junked, or I sold it. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can send me $1 and I'll send just so we can have a transaction fee. A transaction. They're trying to tell me that I gotta come back to Claremont, Florida, middle of fucking nowhere to sign over papers just to drive all the way back up. That is 8 fucking hours. You got
In
me
a car that
fucked.
is not safe.
I love my Aunt Tammy's car, but this car is local only. She
Yeah,
ain't
no.
going across state lines, honey. Oh, I just, as somebody who used to work in customer service, it's just like I know it's nobody's fault. I know we're all having a really, really hard time, and I am also frustrated by those facts.
Yes.
So,
So,
irregardless, I know
how
that
are you?
irregardless is not a word, but I am now somebody who loves to fuck up grammar on purpose to piss people off because grammar is classist. How am I? I would say mostly fine. I would give it's been actually a very, very good week. It's been I feel like I'm into the group. Whoa, so many birds in my yard. So beautiful. Oh, what a view. The sun is setting where I am. My dog is just docile as fuck. I had a really wonderful conversation with somebody for a possible piece in RNS. I don't know if he's doing a profile or if he's kind of like talking about
What's
like
RNS?
religion news service.
Mm.
Service? Religion news service?
Religion news service.
um so that was just really, really fun and unexpected. And then I got to talk to you. That's pretty much what I've done today.
I love that.
Did some formatting of some stuff, wrote it like just dreaming a lot. I have found that my work, because I'm wrapping up the cohort right now, and so I am just doing a lot of reflecting with my clients, and I'm getting prepared for what I want to do with the spring cohort, and I'm feeling really good. So applications for that are opening up in 2 weeks.
That's neat.
Baby.
Some of my stuff this week has been getting really clear about vocational stuff because I am in coaching school, but as part of that, you have to be coached. And so my professional coach, who's like a master coach, has been talking to
Master
me,
coach.
I know, about a little bit like the thing I want to do is get like really clear about how all of my stuff relates to each other.
Mhm.
And it's challenging, it's really hard, but it's also kind of fun to like go, oh yeah,
Well,
this
how
is what I
does all
do.
of your stuff relate to each other? Let's do it. Let's brainstorm. Let's work on it.
I think all my stuff relates to the fact that it's sort of like about space making for people, but it's also about really helping people who are going through transitions, whatever that might look like. So whether it's a faith transition, a job transition, a building that needs to transition, I just seem to be able to be in liminal space with people really well and help them move to the next thing. That seems to be my deal.
Ah, a doula
I'm a doula.
in some ways. I
In some
wouldn't
ways.
not like I mean, because like doula is kind of like a sacred term for a lot of people, so like maybe not
Mhm.
we won't use it so loosely. But in some ways, like you help people as they're giving birth to the new dream, to
Right.
the new life.
Stepping
And
from one stone to the next.
yeah, I mean, and like very much, it's like the story, like the miracle of immaculate conception is that there is one in all of us.
Yes,
That there is something that is waiting to be birthed in all of us, and that's what you do.
it is.
You're you're like a career midwife. You birth
I
people into the
am.
next one. That's gross.
It is gross.
It's messy and bloody, and it's got a placenta. Ugh.
Gross. People who are listening, how the hell are you?
Sorry,
We would
that
love to
was too
know.
much. Also,
We just,
placentas
you know
aren't
what?
gross. The miracle of life is beautiful.
Yes, Miracle of Life is beautiful. We've missed each other, so we'll just keep shooting the shit, but we would love to hear how you're doing.
Hmm.
How are you doing? Anyone else out there not feeling well? Sierra saw me in real life last week, so for a while I was worried that I got Sierra sick, but I have
Oh
not.
my god, that would be awful.
Waffle.
Also, I want to say the thing that like I was like, today is perfect. I've got enough time to get the podcast out because I had an interview with Rachel and Derek, who they're the Your Favorite Heretics on the internet. Just
Oh yeah.
sweet, sweet. I just love Derek, and he's one of my friends now. And the audio was so bad, and I'm like, wow, like I didn't know.
Yeah, I just
It's
heard
so
from
it's
our
so annoying. You're
producer.
like, let me tell you what, like this is retrograde for you, baby.
Ooh, yeah, that's one of my things for us to get into in a minute.
Mm. Oh, you said
Um,
your producer.
the producer of Revcovery sent over a bunch of files and they were like, "Hey, there's a lot of background noise. Could you guys give me like 10 seconds of just room ambiance?" And I was like, "Oh, that's on my end." Because where I live in California. Like there's people all over,
Mm.
there's dogs, there's moving parts,
Yeah, I was like, no, I can't.
well, I can give you 10 seconds of just room ambiance. She's like, and I'll just use that to exit out everything.
Listen, that's something I need. Ugh, all the things I
She's the
want.
one she's the one I want all of us to use, but we'll see how it
Listen,
goes.
listen, you let me know because I'm in the mood for it. And I've got podcasts that need producing. I've got ideas that need. I'm so sick of producing my own podcast. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Let's
tired.
put that out in the world. We can put that out in the world. Friends, if you are listening now and you want to fix what you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is terrible, we are open to that.
Yeah, 100 fucking percent. Um, yeah. I also I'm drinking a sour beer. Are you drinking anything this
Well,
afternoon?
I had my Otter Pop, but it's like really low. I'm gonna go get another one because there's like it's not a lot.
Listen, you know what? You can have as many as you want, and no one's gonna shame you here.
I know. That's the beauty of you. Be right back.
And now, as Sarah's gone, let's talk some shit, y'all. Sarah? Ugh, am I wrong? Oh, she's back. Don't tell her what I said. I'm joking. I'm joking.
What'd you say while I was gone?
Nothing.
I feel like you said some mean things.
No, 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 no. No,
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 no.
no.
I guess you'll find out on Monday.
So true. Now I'm gonna have to check it out. Um,
Um,
10 Barrel Spurs is really good.
oof. I would give
Ooh, this is
anything.
really loud. I'm so sorry, friends.
I don't care. So yeah, now that we have checked
We've got
in,
our beverages. We've checked in. It's time for us to do what your favorite ants love to do. Let's talk about what's going on in the world.
Let's talk about what's going on in our lives. Real women doing real world reporting. We're literally,
Did you?
the journalistic integrity of this podcast is just
It's high. It's very high, if I'm honest.
phenomenal.
I need to admit that I was feeling real sick at the start of the week, and I did not do any Instagramming really this week. But the one time I log on, I see your post talking about Sean
Foyt.
Voight
Sean Foyt.
with a noodle background.
That was his wig. That was his hair.
And those, if you know that Kevin struggles. So this is a Christian musician,
Christian worship
speaker,
leader, speaker, Christian celebrity now. He comes out of Bethel. Like he came out of the Bethel movement.
But he has like very curly hair, and I've never known.
Incredible! It's the most gorgeous fucking hair I've ever seen on a man. Not ever, but just like it's up there. It's a great head of hair.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what. That's a wolf in sheep's clothing, though.
With no comment, you put some quote of his and the noodles in the background, and I'm sick and I cannot stop laughing.
No, I think I said sometimes the praises just sing themselves.
So tell us because Sean is a victim right now.
Yeah,
he is a martyr for the people.
He really is. I'm just like, we're all praying for you, Sean Fucked. Sean Foyt, if you don't know, was going all around the country during the height of vintage COVID, like before
the OG COVID.
Yeah, before everything was going, before we had a vaccine, when it was very like, holy shit, all my friends, like people are dying. And also just for the record, people are still dying.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not hearing about it as much, and we're gonna surpass 1 million people by the end of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So just that's my little cynicism, and for me to check in with myself about not being too toxically positive. You better mute that while you're proud of you. That's what the button's there for. Anyway, so he's been Sean Foyt's been going around the country doing these big open mouth worship concerts without permits. I'm talking hundreds of people, if not sometimes close to 1,000 people descending.
And often the communities have asked him not to come because they're underserved communities.
Yeah, they're black. They're typically black, poor communities. Like he went to the like the corner where George Floyd was killed, and it was like, we're gonna start a revival. Oh yeah, that's where this really started. It was like, we're gonna pray for revival, and then just like everyone's like, it's COVID out here. Also, you don't belong to this community. What are you doing here? Also, just like this is also the reason why Lauren Daigle's no longer our fave, because Homegirl went out in Washington and did a little concert with Mr. Fucked.
No, really?
Girl, did you not see that?
Mm-mm.
Oof, listen. Oof, yeah. And it was one of the reasons I'm just like, God damn it.
Because she can great.
Oh, that bitch can sing. Anyways. Sean Fucked got a little message from HarperCollins today that said, hey, we're actually deciding that we're not going to pursue this contract with you for your book deal called Bold Faith.
But the thing about it was that he wrote a tweet that was like, they've rescinded my contract, which is
it's just like they canceled my contract because of my religious beliefs. Like, and he was like very, very shocked by this. And so
my political beliefs, he said.
Yeah, my political beliefs. And I'm just like, here's the thing. You like in the publishing industry, you need to understand that this has nothing to do with politics. They publish shit by Ann Coulter, for God's sakes.
Right.
Like she's a very
Rush Limbaugh has a
contract. All those things. The reason they rescinded your book is because you are quickly becoming somebody who is bad for business.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with your political beliefs. It's just like right now, the way and like businesses are starting to see it. The Christian landscape is starting to shift.
Right.
And he is not a popular person. And so it
Yeah.
would be more problematic for them to sign somebody who
Right.
is not a public fave. So
Right.
really, if we really want to boil it down to it, like it is a business doing what businesses do, which is protect their interests. And if I'm not mistaken, he is a capitalist and he enjoys businesses being able to do what they want for the good of, because it's good for America.
I think
Um
he's just another one of these people though that cries out cancel culture, right?
yeah. And it's
Cancel.
just
I've been canceled.
they're canceling me. I'm just like, girl,
You
someone
canceled you. You
listen,
canceled you.
yeah, here's the deal. Like Zondervan will still probably pick you up. You need nasty. There's some Christian publishing house out there that's like, oh, we got you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100. Look, I have read one of the things as a writer, I often get books like advanced copies. And I
Hmm.
love that. Like this whole bookshelf is just friends' books that they've written. And I
Hmm.
love getting advanced copies, but every now and then the publishing house will just send me like people I don't
Hmm.
know's books to like have me read them and I'll be like, wow, a lot of things will just get published.
Oh my God. And
Hmm.
how? That's why, like, this is why, like, if you are somebody out there who wants to be a writer,
Just right.
unfortunately, yes, start writing now, get a following now, because
Hmm.
that is, I hate to say it right now, and like you can self-publish, and that's wonderful, and that's what I did. I do not
Hmm.
regret it in the slightest. If you
I'm
are
so glad
looking
to.
to do a publishing deal, like the traditional way, you unfortunately have to have a following. You have to be I hate to say it, but you low key need to be some kind of influencer, even on a micro level, or you need to be in academia.
Uh, I will never forget Donald Miller and I spoke at an event together. We were co-speakers.
No fucking way. You and Donnie?
Yeah, back in the day. Um, and
Wow,
him and I
brushing
were
elbows with the greats.
we were in the back. Actually, I really like
I'm
Donald
so
Miller
sorry, everyone.
as a
Yeah,
human.
I don't have any beef with him.
Yeah, I think he's great. So we were backstage, and I remember he was like, "Have you written?" And I was like, "I've got these ideas. I'm gonna write this thing." And I was like, "But I don't know, like how." He's like, when I started writing, Sarah, the truth was you wrote, and then you got a following. Now you have to get a following to write. He said things have really changed in the last 5 years, and that was 10 years ago, I think, even.
Hmm.
But I was so inspired because my first book was really inspired by a conversation or a thing that I heard him speak about, and then it
Hmm.
led me to write this thing. So I was telling him, "Hey, I'm going to write a book based on the thing you said," and he was like, "Go for it,"
Hmm.
which was great. But anyway, I think that is true. You can just sort of write, but to to act like you're a martyr right now is like, bro, and my
I'm like,
political beliefs. I need you to stop.
girl, like nobody liked your political beliefs. That's why you did not get fucking elected in your state when you were running for office.
He ran for office in California.
Oh yeah, it was disgusting.
I love that M here says, here for the Zondervan shade because the world always needs another conservative Christian romance novel.
Okay,
They're
here's
everywhere, aren't
here's
they?
something I'm thinking. I'm just like, can we need to, like, I want to start, I don't know if I want to write romance novels, like
Bible fan
erotic.
fiction.
No, I'm talking like evangelical smut. Like evangelical, like trauma, like of like our particular kind of trauma porn erotica. It's just like, is that weird? Is
No,
that
that is
weird? Or
great.
maybe it's the way I need to process it. I don't know what you're saying.
So like you and DC talk.
Oh, oh my God, DC talk. Here's the deal. I just like, I'm so I'm so ready for. Anyways, let's get it. Let's keep going. We've got a lot of
Hmm.
fun things to talk about.
Hmm.
Um,
Um,
what's next on our list?
I love Ola Tias. Thank you, Elso. Ola. The next thing we need to talk about, because I have literally got more texts about this than anything else this week. Guys, MoMA is available. Jason has
Oh,
gotten divorced. He is out on the dating scene. So
you
let's scoop.
typed "Mama is available."
Oh, it's because I was sorry.
You literally typed "Mama is
MoMA.
available," and I typed right next to it, "What does this mean?"
Sorry, babe.
Jason Momoa is
We share
now
notes.
available.
Jason Momoa. We share notes, guys, and Sometimes I do it when I'm driving, which is not good. So there we go.
Don't do it. Don't do that.
Yeah, so I love that. So the first person to tell me was Rhett, because our friends Rhett and Jesse. Jesse is a major Jason fan,
Oh,
and her husband
standout.
always is joking around about it because they were at like on a resort, and this guy was like, "Your wife likes Jason mimosa." So for Halloween, they were Jason mimosa. So the first way I found out was Rhett was like, I need to start like working hard because I just found out Jason's available and Jesse might leave me for him.
Listen, I'm like, ugh, I would leave. Listen,
Listen,
Jesse, I would leave you for Jason Momoa. I'd leave pretty much anyone for Jason Momoa.
and you love Jesse.
Oh, but the thing is just like I would also know that Jason's the kind of guy who will kick me to the curb and like call me a faggot, and then I'll go crawling back home.
Oh, I don't
And
think
I
he'd do
will,
that. He
and
feels
I
like
would,
he's very gender fluid.
and I would love it though. You know,
Mhm.
it's that like fucked up fantasy from like my childhood of like being in the locker room and like the,
Ooh.
you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, yes.
Ugh, let me not, you
The
know, let me
straights.
not let me not practice writing
Okay,
erotica on the air, you know?
have you heard? My friend told me, so listening to our podcast, she told me about this podcast done by, it's called oh shoot, Monica Loves Boys and Jess Loves Boys. And it's the armchair experts, Monica, I think her name is. Yes. So it's her and her gay best friend Jess, and it's Dax Shepard talking to them about their dating lives. And it is so good, but they are so us. So he, Jess, dates a ton, but wants to be in love. She barely ever dates. And it's like their whole thing about, and it is so good. And they have experts and all this sort of stuff. But it 100% sounds like us talking sometimes because he'll be like, yeah, I'm just like super into straight men. And he's like, I don't know why. And then they talk about like this idolization of like straight guys. And he's like, I don't know why. Like, I just love a straight guy. He's like, I just want to like, I find them to be the unicorn. I'm into it.
Oh, man. Like this is something I've been thinking a lot about in general because you know me, I'm relationship anarchy as much as possible. And also at the same time I have my human longing, so I'm trying to like work against like my ego nature and my body's just natural inclinations. But like how I think that it is possible for someone to still be heterosexual and cisgender and still somehow queer.
I
Because
think so.
so like for example, like my best friend John, he was in town for a little bit. It was so lovely. We got to hang out. We're super affectionate. We really love each other. We check in with each other. He is a straight man, but the way that our friendship is quite romantic, and the way that he orients his life, a lot of his friends are queer people. Like,
Which is my story too, right?
yeah, and so I'm just like that to me is a kind of queerness in itself. And then I look at something like Miss Maddie Morphosis on RuPaul's Drag Race, who will
Is
be
this the I need to look this up. Is this the first?
the first self-identifying straight cisgender
Hmm,
drag queen to do RuPaul's Drag Race. And comma, however, that's a fucking cross dresser. That's queer.
right.
Doesn't
So
matter that he is primarily and or only attracted to women. That's a cross dresser. Like his gender or how he wants to play with it or how he wants to present, like
he would he so can I ask a question that might be a little bit
hit it, you know.
when he is dressed as a woman. So for me, when my friends are dressed in drag, I refer to them as she.
Yeah, refer to them as their
Okay.
character name.
And then I use the character name and she is the pronoun. Just
Yeah,
like
sure.
when someone identifies as, I guess it doesn't have anything because that's sex, not gender. Never mind.
Yeah.
So they still would,
Out of drag, he's a man. He's a man,
okay,
Barbie.
but he would be, does he consider himself a man when in drag?
Does it matter?
No, I'm just fascinated.
I would I would say just like he's still a man. That's a man in drag. Same thing with gay people. Like they're still. I don't think like when like a gay cisgender man gets into drag, he's saying, I like when we say, oh, like I'm a woman, like or just like you just yeah, we're embodying that, but it's just like we
Got
all
it.
know that we have dicks under here. Like
Got it.
we're under no illusion that that's a woman, unless you're like there's a lot of genderqueer folks, and there's also AFAB people who do drag, and so they're always women no matter what.
AFAB.
Assigned female at birth.
Got it.
So it's a way to say they was born with a vagina,
Got it.
and AMAB would be folks born with penises.
Got it. You're so helpful. I'm so grateful for folks who are willing to like have these conversations with me so that I don't, so I learn these things and I can be the best supportive human I can be.
I can be not bad. I can say the good things.
Speaking of bad versions of masculinity, can we talk about Joe Rogan?
Oh, can we? Also, I was just so happy to see them just like there's something in the air because like me and the gym thing with the Joe Rogan thing. But like
Yeah, so let's talk about it.
so I was very excited to see that a big open letter of like physicians wrote to Spotify saying, "Hey, you have to fight the disinformation that Joe Rogan is putting out about the vaccine because it is truly disinformation and it is hurting people."
Right. And Spotify as a platform that hosts a podcast. So it's getting in this whole conversation. If I'm a platform that hosts something, am I responsible for what comes out of it? Right.
Mm-hmm. Same thing
It's
with like
opening up
Netflix and the
this.
Dave Chappelle thing.
Right. Are you responsible for it? So what do we do when it actually, so I had this conversation actually yesterday with someone, this idea that I love an openness of opinion unless it harms other people. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, I want you to have a difference of opinion. I am very, I have a, I, that boundary changes when it has to do with things around the pandemic and when it has to do things around my LGBTQIA friends, right? Or women's rights, right? Because it
Or just any
actively
other
harms
marginalized group in general. If it actively harms
marginalized
anyone,
group in
period.
general, because it actively harms other people. So your differing opinion, like if you have a differing opinion about like, so many things, I'm willing to kind of go pretty far with you one way. But when it comes to things like this, like Joe
Mm-hmm.
Rogan out there telling people to take medication when he isn't a science professional, I understand that he has quote unquote
Mm-hmm.
done his research. It's so hard, right? Because
I mean,
what
like, here's the thing. It's just like, okay, at the end of like, if you don't trust anyone, like, talk to a actual doctor professional, and maybe a couple of them. Maybe come
Mhm,
to a couple of doctor friends, but like saying someone like, I did my research. I'm just like, how much of the internet is full of bullshit? We've been told from a very, very young age since we were here before the internet, you and I. Do you recall
mhm,
before the internet and when the internet came out it said, not everything you read online is going to be true. Make sure you
mhm.
checked your sources. And I'm so sorry to say, people are not checking their sources.
They aren't. And I think there are some things like my friend's mom had all this like advice for us as we're dealing with COVID. Like, here are some things that are outside of what other people are suggesting, right? So, like, make sure you take zinc, make sure, things like that. Additives, I would say. Are you eating peanuts from Southwest right now?
I'm
Did I
eating.
leave those there for you?
I don't know. I found them in my bag, and I was like, "Oh, a treat."
I feel like that might have been when I like flew. I brought those for you.
No, I think it's when I flew up to get the car up in Jackson.
Oh, right. Yeah. So I think there's just what do you think? What do you think about is Spotify and friends? Please weigh in. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think a platform is responsible for the messaging of those on it?
Yes.
You do
Mm-hmm.
because they're
Period.
making money off of it,
They are making money off of it, and if you're making money off of disinformation,
right?
I mean, here's the thing: like everybody is responsible for their own choices. Blah 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 blah. And at the end of the day, woe to you who causes any one of these children to stumble. It should be better that you put a millstone around your neck and throw yourself into the sea. That's what I'm saying. If
All
you are
right.
causing other people harm, I mean, I'm not saying that the God of the universe is going to destroy your soul for forever. I'm just saying, how does that feel?
Sometimes I just love like
I'm
my thing.
being very casual about this and you're laughing at me.
I'm laughing at you because at the
Serious.
end of the day, your inability to not go to extremes is something that I adore. Like this, like if the God of the universe causes you to suffer for all of eternity, okay.
I'm not saying that that's what God is going to do. I really don't
But I'm
believe
also
that.
not saying that's what God.
I'm saying that's what God should do. So if I was God, bitch, I'd burn your house down right now. I'm not a good person.
Yeah, I think that's the
That's
question
why
too.
I am not in charge of the universe.
I think that's the thing with like Facebook and Instagram and why they're having so many conversations is this idea of like, are you responsible for the messaging that is coming out from your platform if you are if you're, sorry,
Mhm.
a creator content platform?
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like maybe it would be different if it was like something like Reddit that is like they
Right.
have rules and those rules have been manipulated into like different weird things. Oh, excuse me, that was nasty sounding. Um
I feel like
anyways,
Reddit is something I know nothing about, but I have friends
neither
who are like
do I.
super Reddit
But
people, but I don't understand it.
oh, you know what? I don't try to understand things anymore. Only
Okay.
myself.
I go inward.
I only try to
Whenever
understand
this happens, I go inward.
dead ass. I think that's what we should all do.
Also, we
Um
have something really exciting that has to do with one of our friends, one of our mutual friends,
what?
and a
Yep.
band that sang about Marilyn Manson.
So this is very exciting for me because Reliant K was my very first concert ever when
Oh, I
I
love that.
was I think I was probably like 13 or 14 and I saw them at Ichthus. It was a Christian music festival out in the middle of
I
nowhere.
remember Ichthus, yeah.
They tried to be the Christian Woodstock and like I'm talking like this was like the most unsafe bullshit. Like it was nasty. People weren't showering. I mean, like people do that at like weird music festivals all the time, but I'm just like, my God. Ugh.
I love that you and I are such yes,
Scotty thought it was
Ichthus.
like Ichthus. It was like, dude, yes, Ichthus. Not
Yeah,
even
it was
kidding.
Ichthus. It was like a
Anyways,
little
Reliant
so
K hasn't
Reliant
gone up.
K is a band. They had a song named Marilyn Manson Ate My Girlfriend.
It was truly like, I mean, like their early stuff was like, uh, the way that we like that's how I learned how to sing harmony was through listening to early Reliant K, which was super influenced by the OC Supertones because it had a lot of harmonies. Um, and also I think like as Reliant K as a band, as Matt Thiessen has, evolved as like the songwriter behind the band. We've all kind of evolved with him, and so they've never like once they kind of like dropped off a little bit. They didn't really like say we're not a Christian band. It was just like it's pretty obvious that they're not based on the stuff, and also like Matt Thiessen was like writing a lot of songs for Katy Perry, including Teenage Dream, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. You're muted.
I feel like you must be right because my friend was Katy Perry's guitarist and he came out of that world.
Mm-hmm. No,
And yeah,
yeah.
like when after Katy Perry hit pop, like so when
Mm-hmm.
more in the like kind of wild, like when she just was
Mm-hmm.
being herself more, I think actually, if we're
Oh
honest.
yeah.
I was just thinking
Um.
about I was thinking about Five Iron Frenzy. That was what I was
Oh
listening
my
to back
God.
then. I had a t-shirt that
Yes.
said Jeff the Girl. That's what the back of my t-shirt said, Jeff the Girl.
Did you ever listen to that one band called Lost and Found?
Yes.
Slide Girl?
Yes.
Oh, if you remember Slide Girl, tell me in the comments because let me tell you
Oh,
what. Slide
Sierra
Girl,
brought up Sadie Hawkins dance. Remember that
oh,
song?
the best. Anyways, all that to say is that Matt Thiessen has officially said gay rights because Similar is going on tour and opening with Reliant K. And
Our
this is
dear
just,
friend Grace is the headliner of Similar. That is
yeah, Grace, Similar, aka Grace Baldridge.
Baldrich, who we just
Um,
adore.
yeah, uh,
Buy your
I can't
tickets now.
buy your tickets now. I've already got my tickets for Atlanta, so I'll see you there. Um, but I'm so pleased because this started off as a joke just a couple of years ago on TikTok, like doing like covers of Reliant K songs. Um,
Because also their favorite band, both of you, their
mhm,
favorite band growing up.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's just like we called it Reliant Gay,
Yes.
and
Wait,
what's
was that
so
with Grace?
yes, that was
I
the whole
remember you
joke.
doing it. I did not remember it was Reliant Gay. I didn't
Yes, this
remember.
is what,
Okay.
and so what we did is something I just want to say I believe this is the I believe in manifestation. I believe in the power of prayer, basically the same thing, right?
Right. Same.
Grace said on a tweet, I'm not going to stop until I have Matt Thiessen on a stage with me with a pride flag behind me and him saying gay rights. And bitch, Grace
It's
manifested
happening.
that. It's coming, it's happening, and it's like, and it just feels so good that the band of my childhood, and like when Matt Thiessen like handed me the set list at the end of the show at CNU during my senior year when I won homecoming court.
Of course you did.
Like, let me tell you what, it just makes me feel good that he was okay with me being gay at the time.
I think there's something to it. Let's unpack a little bit. The things that were often paired with the things that harmed us. So what I mean by that is like the Christian culture that was so hard for you that you were so trying to be a part of. There are
Mhm.
things within that when they end up being things that are willing to hold space for you, it is beyond regular healing, right? It's like you had to let go of and felt
Mhm.
rejected by so much of that world when something within that is a thing that goes, nah, dude, we good.
Not even that. It's recognizing. I don't know. Like it does heal like a very. It just heals a young part of me. It's
Right.
just like it's this thing of just like, oh, I can still find meaning in these old songs that really meant a lot to me in my youth group times, because the person who wrote them at the time was also in the same place as me, experiencing the same kind of feeling of separation as me. So like, there's like some of the old Reliant K songs that I listen to where I'm just like, ah, you still believe in a separation from God, but you're so desperate for God at the same time, and that's
Mhm.
still beautiful.
I think that's like a lot of people. If I don't know if you know Dave Bazan, but a lot of people have that experience with Dave Bazan because Dave has been very honest about his faith deconstruction. He's done a great. There's a great documentary he did about it, and so many people watch it going, "Wait a minute, you're going through the same thing I'm going through," because we're
Mhm.
often sold that anyone who's standing on a stage has all the answers or has come to a
Also,
landed
anybody who
somewhere.
has a podcast, anybody who has a following.
Right. And I think people are just we have to be the reason I hold grace for people so much is like we are all in process always. Always. And anyone who tells you they're not and has an answer, do not send money to them first of all.
Yeah, and also don't send money to anyone over Instagram because they might be impersonating somebody. There's so many scammers out there.
Ooh, yeah, that is true as well.
Sorry,
Also
that
that.
was just a side thing. And also, like the more I do tarot things, I am waiting for the day when I get a scammer impersonator account. I'm moments away.
You're doing it. Do you have anything else you want us to talk about as in the did you know part? Because I don't know if we have any questions because I didn't look at my thing yet.
I have some cues myself because
Please.
I did a what's it called? What's it called? It's 444. Make a wish. Um yeah, I don't think I have anything else, but
Okay.
I do have some cute questions that I'm just going to pull from,
Go.
excuse me, my Instagram the other day.
I'm ready.
Okay, come on, phone. Thank you. Softball one. What have you been reading lately or listening to?
Oh, yes. So have been listening to that podcast that I told you about, Monica and Jess Love Boys.
Hmm.
And I have also been listening to The Body Keeps the Score because I'm about to talk to a bunch of evangelicals about how body
Hmm.
and body disembodiment has been so problematic. And so they've been asked to read The Body Keeps the Score. So I'm going to reread it.
Yes. I would also say, if you can, Hillary's book,
Yes. Yeah, that too.
especially if you're talking to men, she's got a really, really delicious uh, um, section on men specifically. And so,
Yeah.
because you're talking to a lot of men, I assume.
I am. I am. I'm speaking to a room full of men. So I've been listening to that and reading that. And also reading a book, and I got to look up the name. It's Anam Cara, and it's about sacred friendships, and it's by my favorite poet, John O'Donohue.
You fucking love Johnny.
Oh, 100. What about you? What are you listening to? What are you reading?
I just finished Yoke, the Yoga of My Self Acceptance by Jessamine Stanley, and I am just in
Oh,
love.
I loved that. You sent me like a picture of that, like a
Oh,
graphic. So cool.
yes. And so like especially because the word yoke also has something like in Christian tradition, so it's like,
Hmm.
oh yes. Um, and I actually feel like it's kind of drawn me deeper into my own yoga practice, and I kind of want to figure out how to get deeper instruction on it, and maybe get a yoga membership. I don't know, who can say. Hold on, I'm gonna block these hoes real quick.
Oh.
Block user on YouTube because
Ooh.
it's a bot.
Oh yeah, the two bots there.
Oh yeah,
All right, guys, we're getting to the level where we have bots.
something like that. Anyways, I've been listening to Yoke. I finished that one. I am now. What did I just download? It's the Sagan. What's her name? Sophie Sagan. Sorry, I can't remember. What is your last name? Sasha Sagan, for small creatures such as we. And also Dune.
Okay.
Like the actual, like the whole thing. It's so
I've heard
delicious.
it's so good. Yeah, I've
It's a
been
great thing.
watching the show The Expanse, and I feel like that is a Dune-esque kind of like a
You
really
love
well done.
space. You love dystopia.
I do.
Before we jump into this next question, you can talk dirty about me while I go get another beer.
Oh, okay. Did he talk dirty? Did they talk dirty about me while I was gone, guys? Be honest. It's just you and me now. They aren't in the room. While I was gone earlier, did Kevin talk shit? Be honest. Oh, they're too fast. They're too fast. You're so fast. I didn't even have a chance to find out from our fans if you said any shit about me.
I guess you'll find out. This one also ASMR for a minute.
Ooh, I hear that. Ooh, that sounds good.
You love ASMR. Admit it.
Sure, I do.
Okay, so here is a cute little question. This is from someone who said, "Hey, I'm a new evangelical person," so somebody who's just beginning the journey.
The Johnny.
How much of quote unquote Christianity, they put Christianity in quotes, how much of Christianity do you keep? I'm struggling with this. Part of me wants to toss it all, and part of me says, there's some good here. So how do you discern between what to keep and what to toss, I guess is the question.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? I think what you're going to find is it's going to be a different answer for everybody. What works for you. And I know that when I say that, that's going to be some trauma activation, right? What works for you? Because you've been told your entire life that what works for you is wrong, right? You can't trust that inner voice. Both Kevin and I and I can say this with all surety, both Kevin and I are in the belief that sometimes that inner voice is the spirit. And we've been taught often to not trust that inner voice. And so be gentle with yourself. Toss what feels right to toss. I would say if it feels right to toss it, don't be afraid that you won't ever go back to it. You just have to be willing to sort of surrender the outcome of weeding through all of it. I think put everything on the table and don't get rid of everything if you don't want to get rid of everything. But if you need to get rid of everything, get rid of everything. And I know that is not a one size fits all answer. And I sometimes think we try to do that. But when it comes to this work, be gentle with yourself. Be compassionate. Don't be surprised if some things feel nostalgic and you want to welcome them back in.
Yeah. And don't be surprised at how much you actually are okay with leaving behind. It's okay to completely it's completely fine to change your full ass identity because you need to find the truth.
And it might change. That truth is a moving target.
Oh my gosh, that's the thing that I was about to say that. So it's be prepared to change your mind again, and then be prepared to change your mind again, and then be prepared to change your mind. Every time you get new information, your mind is going to change your belief. Because here's the thing, a belief is just a thought that you have over and over and over again. So that it's not so much about what do I believe, but what is the thoughts that occupy my mind the most, and are they helpful? That is the thing I point people to all the time.
And if the divine is the divine is not afraid of your questioning.
Yeah, because it's you. You are afraid of your questions. And the thing about it is, once you start answering them, then you don't have to worry about them anymore. Start answering those
Sometimes
questions, goddammit.
the hard part is, and why I think the thing that a lot of people are surprised about is the grief. There
Oh,
The grief
yeah.
that comes with, "But I thought this thing was toxic and horrible and hard." Yeah, and it also is gonna hurt.
Mhm.
It's also gonna hurt
And I think
when
the
when it
reason
goes,
yeah, because, like, here's the thing, well, why am I crying over this? Because you loved it.
and because it held you.
Mhm. Like, it was your whole world. Of
Mm.
course you loved it, and it also hurt you, and, like, it's both ends, like, this thing hurt me, and I still miss it, and I still love it on some level. Yes.
I think there's always eh, there is the opportunity constantly to reevaluate what you believe every day. Um, and it's scary. I also want to acknowledge
Mm,
there's grief and there's fear, because there's this thing that people often say to me when they're sitting across from me telling me that their faith has shifted, and there's honest fear in their eyes,
mhm,
because they have been told by some pastor, some youth pastor, whatever it might be, that if I start questioning, nothing, nothing matters anymore. Everything,
mm,
the lens through which I saw, instead of seeing, like, you got to, in the midst of this, what I will say, as you start to deconstruct things, or however you want to put it, dismantle, however you want to put it, I want you to find something that's grounding. Kevin and I often talk about practices that are grounding, that remind you that you are still there and you are still you, even if everything around you is shifting. And that may not seem important to you now, but as you start to tear apart the very things that have been an identity to you, and I would say an identity you put on. It wasn't actually your identity, but you put that on. You
mm,
need to kind of get rooted in that thing. There are, like, so practices are things that don't change, right? Because
mhm.
beliefs are things that are changeable, as we talk about, like,
Um,
connections in our brains. But practices
yeah.
are things that, like, however it might be,
Keep it
have
steady.
things. Yeah, they
They can shift
really,
over time, but keep it
right.
steady, man.
Keep it steady. So whatever that might be, whatever that might look like, find people that are okay with your shifting. Um, I think that's really key too. I think a lot of times people try to go and walk this thing alone. I hear a
Oh,
lot of
don't do it.
partnerships that were really hard. So marriages, that this is a
Mhm,
difficult thing, because you have to understand everybody's reacting out of fear, and the deep desire that and question everybody is always asking is, am I okay and do I belong? Do I still matter? Do I still matter? Do I belong here? And so when you
mhm,
start shifting, their fear is that they no longer belong here. So
mhm.
you're hitting into other people's fears too.
Yeah, and also, fuck them. If they're if they're
Kevin and I are
afraid
so different. I love it.
if they're afraid, let them be afraid. That's none of your
Right.
business. Because
Right.
what are they afraid of? An illusion.
Mhm.
Like, that's so you changed your mind. Oh my god. Like,
But it's scary for some people.
I know, and we have to stop treating it like it's scary so people can get over it. This is my hypothesis right now. And because the thing about it is, I think, like, this is the reason my mother shifted in her opinion of, I think, homosexuality is because I shifted my opinion.
Mm,
And I shifted also my mood because I got to a point where it's just like, I can no longer cater to you because this is not a big deal to me.
right.
And so therefore I cannot make this a big deal with you. And I think as your faith transitioned, like, I know it's one of those things where it's just like, yes, it is a huge deal.
Mhm.
It
'Cause it's the
feels like,
lens.
yeah, because it's just like you've been told, like, if you eat of this fruit, you will surely die.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But the
yeah.
thing is, like, if you eat of this fruit, you become like God, which is literally just becoming aware of everything as it actually is, including yourself. And
Yeah,
that
yeah.
feels scary because uh it causes it, that's exactly it. But like as long as you are, like, being honest about what you are feeling and experiencing, and you are looking for what is helpful, that's what you keep.
Mm,
That's what you
mm.
keep.
Yeah, that's the thing. Um, and
Sierra just said, "Damn, I'm so sorry." Sometimes,
damn!
sometimes I go into this, like, theological world, and I'm just like,
We will start preaching, because that is just who we are. We
I
want
mean, come
people
for the shade, stay for the
come for the shade.
sermon.
Ah!
Oh! Listen,
Why don't we have a t-shirt? This is that.
listen, we're about to make merch in 2022. We're about to get on it, baby.
I would love that. Come for the shade, stay for the sermon. Your
Amen.
favorite ants. I love it. Also, I love doing this with you. Do you have any more questions that we should do before we close out this hour?
I think we can park it there. It was a really nice question. If you have got questions,
We need 'em.
occasionally, send them in to our social media, or send them to askyourfavoriteants@gmail.com, and we may read them aloud on the line. Of course, everything is always kept anonymous. I can't. It's fine.
It's okay. You're doing great.
Anything that you need to promote? Anything coming up? Anything
Yeah, coming out
new?
next week will be the trailer to the Revcovery podcast. It is going to be such a fun thing.
I'm so
I'm
fucking
taking
stoked.
Me too. I'm taking new clients for coaching, one-on-one. I'm so excited.
Mhm.
So if you are looking for help in any sort of transition of thought or transition in job or whatever it might be, I am here for you. If you are asking questions about how do you make space for yourself or others, I am here for you as well.
Mhm.
And Making Spaces podcast is coming back too, but that'll be in the month of February. So
Yeah.
that's all I got. Revcovery. And also please like and subscribe this and also
Yes.
leave
Also, you
comments.
can rate this in Spotify now too. So please
Please.
go rate us in Spotify.
Please,
I'm
please,
sorry.
please.
And share us with a friend.
Yes, please.
Oh my god.
Anything else you'd like to share? Do you still have room in your
Besides,
tarot classes?
if you are somebody out there and you're like, "Oh my god, I want to learn how to read tarot because I want to be witchy," or you would legitimately just want to learn tarot or learn a new spiritual practice, I'm teaching something called Tarot's Cool, a live 7-week workshop series on the Zoom line where I'm going to take you from tarot basic to tarot badass in just 7 weeks.
I love
I
it.
love this is my little taglines. Anyways, I'm talking like it's lectures, it's also going to be practice time with people live on the line. So like 20 minutes of lecture, 10 minutes of Q&A, 15 minutes of practice, 5 minutes of unpacking and question, and then we'll be back the following week. You do not have to be live in there. Everything is going to be recorded and posted later, so you'll have access to that forever and ever. And I am possibly working on a proposal for a tarot deck that I want to publish. And
Oh,
if
is
I
it the
can,
one we talked about
I'm
before?
trying to do 2 deals in 1 year, baby.
I am proud of you. So much is going on. We love you. Take care of
Wait, I'm
yourself.
not done. I got things.
More things. Go, go.
I just want to say I would like a support group for anybody who is watching RuPaul's Drag Race season 14, because we have to watch it together sometime. I think it'd be fun. If you like this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow all of our friends at Irreverent Media. You can follow me at the Kevin Garcia. Follow Sarah at Rev Sarah Heath. You can buy my book Bad Theology Kills at badtheologykills.com. Go buy it. If you haven't read my book, what are you doing? Like, honestly, go buy my book, you ass. I'm just kidding. You're not an ass. You're wonderful. Um, and I'm single, and I'm just telling everybody because I want to manifest more dates. So if you know somebody in the Atlanta area, and maybe that's you, or maybe that's someone you know, please shoot your shot. I would love to get to know somebody. I will happily also say thank you so much, but I don't think I'm interested at this time. Um, yeah, let's be
I love
friends.
that. I
I'm so
love
like,
that.
listen, if what the fuck is like the point of like having an internet presence if you can't flex it sometimes to find love, you know? Right?
Oh, it's so true. I love
Listen,
this Nicholas Sparks moment for you.
listen, I'm gonna Benjamin Button my way out of here and just grow into a baby. What?
I love it.
Okay, until next week. All right, we got like 1 more minute. What's your advice for the week? What do you have to tell the people?
My advice for this week is make sure that you have like NyQuil and DayQuil in your home at all times. This
Stop.
might sound like the most
Stop.
practical thing, but friends, as we've all been going through all of this, everywhere is sold out. So just you don't have to like stockpile it, but just make sure you have it because you never know when you're going to need it, and you won't feel well enough to go get it.
It's
That's my
brilliant.
advice. Make sure you
That's
have.
great.
Actually, I'll say it better. Make sure you have a stocked first aid kit at all times.
Wow. Amazing.
Practical
Um,
advice, guys. This is what you came to your aunts for.
Yeah.
What's your
My
advice?
my advice is um uh you got to find something that you do regularly. It doesn't matter like that you do regularly with somebody else. It can be a TV show, it can be a workout thingy, it can be a meal together. In fact, yeah, maybe you should schedule a meal with somebody in your life at least once a week to keep it regular.
I
Because
love
man,
that.
oh live, because right now, because like karaoke's out right now because you can't sing in public during coronavirus. So right now it's Drag Race with the girls again because Drag Race season is back. So like that's what we're doing. So find your little things. Anyways, that's it for me. I love you,
We love you. Make good
and
decisions.
if you want to, and if not, just take responsibility for the bad ones you make.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for coming.